Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Connor Williams, back with another one of our end of season player review videos. Today's video is on none other than Demarai Gray. Obviously joined in the summer of last year, played 39 games, got 6 goals. We'll go through his stats for this season now. Demarai Gray. I think earlier on, if you'd asked in January, I think he could have been potentially bargain of the summer, bargain of the season. I think there's still a very, very, very small case to chuck his name in the hat. In all honesty, that's not being biased. I think there is a sort of argument to put him in there. I think he does get beat though. I think he deserves to be in the conversation, but I don't think he. I don't think he gets it though. I think there's a couple of players who ended up being a little bit better bang for your buck. Just because of the second half of this season, I don't know about you guys, but it felt like he sort of steered off into the wrong direction for me. I'm not knocking him either. I'll get through his stats in a minute. He was fantastic though for the first half. I just feel like maybe because of tiredness, maybe, I hope it's not this, but it is worth mentioning a different manager, because he was brought under Benitez, and he's had his best periods under Rafa Benitez. Maybe it was just the fact that those month and a bit where we went without a win absolutely shot him off, and he was just absolutely done, like half the squad were. Maybe he was tired. I cannot tell you the reason why off the top of my head, because I don't know him. But early on, had a fantastic season, didn't he? Had a really good start to the season. We looked like we'd sort of stole one there, because we got him for 1.5 million, I believe, which is, in this day and age where, you know, Darwin Núñez has just gone to Liverpool for 80 million. Goalkeepers and defenders are going for about 80 million. It's a bit of a shock, really, isn't it? That we got him for so cheap. It is really, really bizarre. Like I said, I don't think he's the only one. I think that Gouy for Crystal Palace, probably. Jose Sarr, he's another fantastic one. Even that Emmanuel Dennis, I believe Watford got him for quite cheap. There's a couple that Livramento. There's a couple of and Christopher Azure. There's a couple of players that I'd say are bargain of the season. I mean, my out-and-out winner, and it's hard to look past, is Christian Eriksen. I think that's an absolute bargain. Brentford, to be fair to him, took a punt on him. Now he's better, he's healthy, which is absolutely fantastic, and he's absolutely paying dividends for Brentford, linked with moves away already. So it's good. He's probably my signing of the summer. But Demarai Gray is in the conversation. Like I said, 1.7, had a really good up until January. I think if you'd ask people up until January, they'd be like, yeah, you know what? I think he's in the conversation. I think he is now, but he'd be like, I don't know, like 5th on the list for me now. 5th on the list for me. But yeah, going into Demarai Gray, played 39 games for us overall, scored, that's in cups and the league, scored 6 goals, which is already way more, 5 more than he did for Leverkusen. And he's halfway to matching his Leicester City record as well, which is a bit interesting. He also had 4 assists for us, 3 yellow cards. He's played 2,339 minutes in the Prem, has an XG of 5.8 and got 5 goals. So he's performing just below his below the XG, which means that one of his chances was a little bit harder. He has scored some belter goals, and he's had 4 inside the box. He's had 1 outside the box. 3 left-footed, 2 right-footed. I think we know the outside the box one is the Arsenal one where he could have got 2. He could have got 2 that game. I'll go through his best game, but that might be, straight off the top of my head, that might be one of them. He could have got 2 goals, exact carbon copies of one another. If I'm not mistaken, he's of one. Oh, it's fantastic. It's nice to see a player who's got that in him. Shots on target 17, shots off target 21. There have been some chances I remember this season in missing, and I'm like, absolutely head in my hands. But yeah, 4 assists, 42 chances created, 633 passes, 106 dribbles, 55 of them successful, 30 tackles attempted, 19 of them successful, 13 clearances, 15 interceptions. So he has got a defensive side to him as well. He can play left mid, right mid. We've even seen him being put in the middle. Rafa Benitez, for some reason, thought he was a cam very early on, which was quite annoying because I don't think he is a cam. And I think everyone else was in agreement. He's not a cam. Yeah, his best game, looking at it now, the Burnley game is certainly up there. That was just an absolute crazy game to watch, that Burnley game. The Arsenal game for me, straight off my head, fantastic game as well. It's probably between those two, in all honesty, for me. If we're talking on individual brilliance, his worst game, I'll get that. I'll get a stats for that as well. It's probably City, probably Man City 3-0, but it is Manchester City. Other than that, maybe 3-2 to Burnley, where he was only on 17 minutes, or the United game, again, he was only on 19. Brentford's 3-2 loss, he was only on 18, pretty poor showing. But we'll go through his best ones. We'll go through his worst one first, and then we'll end it on high notes, do it the other way around, and then I'll give you my rating out of 10 for Demarai Gray for this Everton season. So that game I was on about where he didn't perform well enough for me. He came on for Anthony Gordon, got 19 minutes. So 18 minutes. You could argue it was a bit tough for him to get involved. 75% pass accuracy, chances created only 1. Accurate crosses 2 out of 3. Dribbled past once, won none of his ground duels. Maybe that one's a little bit harsh, in all honesty, because he's only played 19 minutes of game time. So we'll find the one when the next bad one where he played significant amount of minutes, because I think that next one is the Arsenal 5-1, which is ironic because the earlier on fixture is probably his best one. This game was awful for everybody involved. I don't think any of the players can hold their hands up here. I think they dialed it in all honesty. We were safe. What's the point? Sort of mentality. Yeah, his stats, no accurate crosses, no accurate long balls. Really struggled to make an impact in the game. Played on the right-hand side when we've seen him normally utilised on the left. So maybe that's another reason for it. But yeah, just a tough game to judge him on, really. We'll go off his best games now. We've got, first of all, a 3-1 to Burnley. 3-1 win for Everton, against Burnley. Played 88 minutes, got a goal, 4 shots, on 4 shots. His goal, inside, a fast break inside the box with his right foot. The XG for that was 0.51. He had 21 of 23 passes accurate. Really, really good. Successful dribbles, 2 out of 2. He was only dispossessed once. Made 2 interceptions, 3 recoveries, was on dribble pass once, won half of his ground duels. Really impressive going for him. It was good to see. Accurate crosses, 0, 2 attempted, 0 there. Maybe that is something to look at. I have noticed that, but it's not just him that has that issue. A couple of crosses are going a bit awry here. I don't know if he's that type of winger. I don't think he's one of those types. I think he's push into the box more than push to the byline and cross it in. The Arsenal game, 90 minutes he played, got 1 goal. Had 3 shots all outside the box. Right footed one in the 13th minute, went absolutely miles high. Then in the 79th, really, really good hit. It was 0.5 XG for that one. yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's saved as well, which leads to Richarlison's header. So although I don't think it counts as I don't think that does count as an assist. But if he didn't crack his shot off, the goal wouldn't have gone in. And then literally right the same, near enough the same place. 11 minutes later, he gets the ball again, crosses it in. This one's got a 0.05 xG and ends up in a goal. He got 70% accurate passes, 1 chance created, 2 out of 3 shots on target, all outside the box, 0 successful dribbles, 1 accurate long ball. 1 accurate cross out of 4, 0 accurate long balls. But he played really well, absolutely played out of his skin. It's nice to have had a player. I don't think we've seen it much since then, but it shows the value of having a player last year. It was probably James Rodriguez, who can just do something. If you give him a space, you'd be surprised how many players just don't hit it anymore. Or if they do, you'd be surprised how many do it, and they shouldn't do it. But yeah, he's a really, really I just shown he cut inside acres of space because no one's gonna close him down because they're all like, oh, we won't shoot from there. As a shot, they should have learned their lesson. Arsenal, really, really naive of them not to. Does it again, gets his goal, fully deserved. Really impressive for Demarai Gray that game. It's fantastic to watch. My overall feeling on him is started out really, really well, brought him for little money. He's 25, so there is some time to resell and get some money back if it didn't work out. He did work out. He got the ground running, looked like a bargain of the season. Sort of dwindled now in the back end of the season, the second half of the season. It's been a tough season. Even after Lampard took over, it was still a tough season. There were still losses there that I don't think should have been there. And yeah, even with once Benitez had gone, it wasn't going to be a magic curtain. The players were still going to need time to sort of dig themselves out of the rut they're in. So you could argue maybe that was it. And next season we can judge him properly under Lampard. Because I just think Lampard came in and it was the mood around the camp was that shot in a lot of players. And Demarai Gray probably was tired. So I'm hoping next season we see a bit more of him. Again, if he can sort of rekindle that sort of form and keep it going a little bit longer, he might end up being a bargain of the summer or one of the better bargains of Everton Football Club if he can continuously do that for a couple of seasons. But yeah, overall, I've said in a couple of these, it's tough to give players high ratings on this because overall this season's been absolutely abysmal and there's not many that can hold their heads. I think Demarai Gray, up until the second half, he had a really good second half that's carried him, so I'm going to give him a 7. A really good first half that's carried him. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Yeah, he's in moments been impressive. And there's a player there. There's a player for sure there. I was a little bit worried we'd signed some absolute no mark that just wasn't going to work out, and he made me eat my words in a matter of months, which was absolutely brilliant to see, and I'm glad as well. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for Demarai Gray. Long may it continue. Hopefully he spends a couple of seasons with us and has a really good career. That is everything I've got time for though. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts on Demarai Gray and give me a rating out of 10 for him. I'll see you guys soon.